What's going on, everybody? It's McFly here. So today we're checking out an artist that I've heard a lot about, but I haven't actually heard like a second of yet. We're gonna be checking out NF. So there's a lot of artists where they, fans especially want you to react to an artist in the order of kind of how they released their music, because sometimes it's a story. And I really believe, from what people have told me, that NF is one of those artists. However, for one, I want to be caught up on the artist. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing it a little bit backwards way. We're going to react to Motto today by NF. And I've never heard of NF before. So there may be references I don't get. There may be a lot of stuff that I don't understand from this, in a sense of his history. But what we're going to do is we'll react to this, and then I will eventually go out and start over and listen to NF and react to his older stuff. I feel that, especially when it comes to hip hop, which NF is hip hop, that to really appreciate an artist, sometimes you have to go in and listen to their newer stuff before you listen to their early stuff. Just because certain artists have changed a lot. Obviously, a lot of artists change a lot as they go through their time as a musician, and it's interesting to see that change right off the bat and that growth. I actually appreciate that a lot. Today we'll be reacting to NF Motto. In case you guys are new here, what we do on this channel is we listen to the song, I interject here and there for important stuff, and then after we will talk about the message, we will talk about the music. That will be it. So that's what we do on this channel. All right, without further ado, let's get into Motto by NF. All right, here we go.
I could write a record full of radio songs, do a bunch of features that my label would love, do a bunch of features that I don't even like, just to build up the hype.
He's going after the music industry.
I could sell my house and move out to LA, get inside of rooms with the biggest of names, hire 50 people just to give me advice on the way I should write. Oh God.
Okay. So obviously he's going straight after the music industry. He's talking about how he could write a whole bunch of songs that play on the radio, do a bunch of stuff his label would love, feature a bunch of well-known artists. Obviously, a lot of rappers nowadays do that. Move to LA, all the typical stuff that rappers nowadays do. But the thing that caught me for real was the hiring essentially ghostwriters, right? Have 50 people behind every song. You got the massive amounts of notes of producers on the album, and how many people were in charge of the lyrics, all that stuff. I mean, we're in the first 30 seconds and he's already talking about that. So that's pretty funny. Let's I'm gonna go back a little bit. It looks like he's pulling up to some type of red carpet event, and everybody's in like their bougie cars. They're all black suits, and he's in his with the dice in the mirror, and he's wearing all white with his hoodie and hat. I like that. I want to talk about the beat, but let's keep going for a bit.
Even like just to build up the hype. Yeah. I could sell my house and move out to LA, get inside of rooms with the biggest of names, hire 50 people just to give me advice on the way I should write. Oh God, yeah, sounds like a nightmare if you ask me. Yeah, went from my bedroom to the big leagues. You know how many times that I was told things wouldn't work but worked out. Having cold feet didn't keep me from success but delayed it some. I used to be the guy who killed to get it #1. I had to hear that song's a hit before I thought it was, but nowadays I don't really give a what. Oh.
Some important stuff here. As a musician, I can relate. For those of you who don't know this, I was in a band. I definitely was in a band, but I kind of had an album that released with that band. I was in college, right? And my dream was to be a musician. That's when I got my degree in music. I figured that would help me be unique as opposed to a lot of other rock musicians who frankly don't have the classical training. Fast forward, the album came out, and we created a lot of songs that we enjoyed. But when you release an album, right, you put stuff out, or any type of content, to be honest, you put yourself out there to be judged by the public. That's the whole point. Is success is not measured by how you feel about the work you make. It's more so about how other people's view the work you make. And that's unfortunate in my opinion, because people shouldn't in anything they do. They shouldn't do things just for other people to make other people happy. They should do things that make them happy. I think that's what a lot of artists, that's a lot of content creators fail at, is how am I going to make the most money? How am I going to get the most views? How am I going to get the most success? I don't think that's how you should look at things, especially when you're starting off, because nobody knows who you are. And if you're trying to go after what's going to get you the most clicks, the most views, the most listens, there's going to be some inauthenticity to that, because you're not doing essentially what you want to do. You're doing what you think other people want you to do. And I think being authentic is kind of the most important thing. And I'm finding that out with my channel, right? I spend a lot of time mixing those two together, doing what I like to do, which is playing video games and watching movies and creating a YouTube channel that people would like. So I did a lot of stuff where like reacting to movies and stuff and playing video games and trying to figure out how to bridge those two things instead of just doing what I wanted to do, which was listen to music, talk about artists, learn about new artists. Like, these are things I do in my personal life that I'm just bringing to the channel. It's a great thing. I'm not making this about me, but I'm trying to relate it to myself. The way he talks about it being a nightmare. He went from the bedroom to the big leagues, and he said he used to be the guy who'd kill to get a #1. I had to hear that this song's a hit. 100%. We want to hear from other people. That's starting out. You want to hear from other people. This is a hit. It's a hit. You should definitely release this instead of just roll with it. Make the songs you want to make that make you happy and just release it. If other people enjoy it, great. If they don't, that's how things go. I like that he said, but nowadays I don't really give a blank. Don't care about what other people think, right? Care about how the music you make makes you feel. Make it therapy for yourself, and that's the best way to go about it. That was a really long tangent, but I feel like that's an important message he has right there.
Things wouldn't work, but worked out. Having cold feet didn't keep me from success, but delayed it some. I used to be
Like
the
that
guy
line.
who killed to get a #1. I had to hear that song's a hit before I thought it was, but nowadays I don't really give a what. Oh God, might catch me at the award show, eating popcorn in the back row, catching Z's with my hat low. No nominations, but it's cool though. Oh God, you might
I like the vibe he's giving off. Like, I don't give a, like you said, wearing the same clothes last week.
Yeah, I miss buying CDs at the store and thumbing through the cases trying to make a choice. That don't make no sense to you.
Those of you young heads that don't even know what CDs are, man. We used to go to record stores or CD stores. See, that's how old I am. I said a record store. We used to go to a music shop, and you know, if there wasn't an actual CD or song that you were looking for, and you wanted to find out a new artist, you wouldn't go online and be like, what's a new artist I should listen to? You would go to the CD store, you look at the covers, you look at the back, name of the songs, the name of the album, you know, who's on it. And that's how you would find new artists. You'd be like, this looks like a cool album cover. Let's go with it. Let's roll with it. That's how I found out a lot of the earlier artists in my life. We don't get that anymore, really. It's all about finding people on like SoundCloud or whatever. But I miss those days. I agree.
That's my motto. Yeah. I miss buying CDs at the store and thumbing through the cases trying to make a choice. That don't make no sense to you, well, of course. See, one man's inconvenience is another's joy. Wow,
Yep.
Wow, how are you unemployed? Telling me to get a life, you should look at yours. Yup, congratulations, you can raise your voice. Hope you break both of your legs falling off your horse. Oh, snap, this is the industry where it ain't how big you are, it's how big you seem. Where people sacrifice the art trying to chase a dream, and they wonder why their music's lacking creativity.
That line right there. Beautiful. It's kind of what I said before. Where people sacrifice the art trying to chase a dream. You're worried about the money. You're worried about the clicks. You're worried about how many people are going to enjoy what you're doing. You're forgetting to focus on the creativity of what you're doing, the art of what you're doing. That hits me personally. It got to the point when we were making music after that album dropped, and not a lot of people were into it just because we didn't have a following. That we tried to change things up, tried to make new stuff, different stuff that we thought people would want to hear, and it didn't work. And after that, I took a huge diversion in my career path. But he's basically calling out every single like mainstream artist. Creativity should be number one in all art, 100%. And music is art, or should be art. That's a powerful line right there.
Industry, where it ain't how big you are, it's how big you seem. Where people sacrifice the art trying to chase a dream.
Calling
and they
people
wonder
fake.
why their music's lacking creativity. Oh yeah, would've gave anything to be respected by the artists I was listening to. But not no more, them days of history. Skip the red carpet, you looking for me. Oh God, yeah. You might
Wanting to
catch
be
me at
recognized by the major
award
artists
show,
that he loves.
eating popcorn in the back row. Catching Z's with my hat low. No nominations, but it's cool though. Oh God, you might see me in the same clothes I had on last week. Am I ashamed? No. Yeah, you heard this saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my motto. Got my feet propped up, leave my shirts untucked. I'm the boss, so what? I do what I want. You got the trophy, that's great.
Do what I want.
I'm happy for you, no hate. Still got a smile on my face. Chilling in the back like, hey! Oh God! Yeah, you might catch me at the award show. Eating popcorn in the back row. Catching Z's with my hat low. No nominations, but it's cool though. Oh God! You might see me in the same clothes I had on last week. Am I ashamed? No. Yeah, you heard this saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my motto.
His face. It's a vibe, bro. NF, I like the vibe, man. I like the ending there. First of all, like I said at the end there, I do like the vibe that he's letting off, right? They're not giving a care. They're not having a care attitude. He doesn't care about the mainstream. He doesn't care about all that. He's just being him, laying low, doing what he wants to do. Some of you might hate me for this because I don't have the history of NF. I do know a little bit that a lot of his stuff used to be depressing. He went on a little hiatus. He released Hope, which was kind of a shift in his content. And then this came out. So he's gone from more of a depressive kind of guy to almost being like rehabilitated from that and now being more healthy about it. At least in the demeanor and what he's talking about, it's almost like it's the first step into actually believing what he's saying, right? It's almost like a coping mechanism. That's just the feeling that I get. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, that's the part of the healing process, right? Other than that, I really like this song. I think whether or not it was taking shots at the record company, which always is a good thing, or at record companies, always a good thing. Just talking about being yourself, doing what you want to do as an artist, that being the main thing, creativity being the main thing is 100% how people should be about art. I think in his hiatus, he may have found that doing what he loves to do is just making music that he likes, not making music that people will want to listen to. I want to talk about, I think I talked about all the lyrics that I really liked. Let's talk about the parts. I like the whole theme of the video of him being kind of on this red carpet with all the Grammy artists and stuff, the mainstream artists, and kind of antagonizing a little bit. I'm just here to have fun and hang out type of thing, and everybody's all serious about it. I like that aspect, and I like the visuals, right? We have everybody out here is wearing black suits. Everybody, black suits, black dresses, everybody in the whole crowd. There's one dude in a purple. That's a dope purple suit. And there's a red dress. But other than that, it's pretty much black. And he's out here in a white hat, white hoodie, white shoes. I think the visual there is really cool. So it makes him stand out while everybody else is just pretty much like sheep, right? For the music industry. Very cool visual there. I like him being dragged out here and with the smile he had on his face right here. Perfect. Oh, man. That's great. I want to talk about the beats. There's an artist called Greaves, which was on Rhymesayers Entertainment. You go check him out. He's a great artist. These beats sound a lot like what Greaves does. Greaves and Buddha, mostly Buddha who did his beats, but they take guitar, they take classical musical instruments like violins, and they just do real quick hits with those violins. The verse is very subdued, very laid back. Let's go to the beginning.
Just
So
to
look,
build up the hype. Yeah.
the horns, horns, violins, strings.
Get inside the rooms with the biggest of names.
It's very open, and then you have the beat hit,
on the way I should write.
right? Driving the song. And then the chorus, or that was the intro, but the verse picks up a little bit, right? You have the beat, and you have the toned up vocals that are very distorted. Right there. Somebody singing something. That's very like underground hip hop, mid 90s, early 2000s underground hip hop. You just have the toms now coming in.
Didn't keep me from success, but delayed it some. I used to be the guy who killed to get it number one.
Piano.
I had to hear that song's a hit
Piano and
before I
strings,
thought
so it's
it
all
was,
strings
but
basically.
nowadays, I don't really give a oh God.
You have like the little you have like the little is that like a almost like a chirp
Thought it was, but nowadays I don't really give
right
a
there? Whoop. What is that?
nowadays I don't really give
Sounds like almost a wah guitar. Heavy on the strings. So Greaves and Buddha does a lot of stuff like these beats. The sound, at least the sound is heavily. I don't know if it's influenced by Greaves, because Greaves, everybody's influenced by somebody else. So NF might have the same kind of influence that, you know, other people might have. I'm not going to say that it's directly, but
Born blind in the winter with an empty head. The snow covered up the Camry, the whole house slept. Drawing pictures in the bed. Waking up and racing down the stairs, trying to catch my breath.
The cadence is very similar.
Could have sworn I was king of the
very
best
simple
odds.
beat.
Running around
But this
with
is
the
not what I
dogs.
was talking about. But the cadence is pretty similar. Their voices sound different, but the cadence is very similar. So the vibe on this is very similar, right? And I'm not trying to push Greaves, but this is literally the first thing I thought of when I heard this song. You have the intro with strings and a little bit of synth. Again, strings could be guitar, strings can be violins and all that stuff. It's very similar, right? Intro is very subdued. Just have the beat added to the strings. Same concept, right? And then you go to the chorus. I think it's like just add more layers to it, right? Same concept. Every song now is building upon ideas from 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago and last year and the year before, right? There's never going to be anything that's 100% unique, I guess is the right word. Bring it back to this song. It's very seldom that you see a aspiring artist. I mean, this song has 8.1 million views, so I'm pretty sure he's making it at this point. I mean, that's a relative term, but you know, it's very rare you see an aspiring artist like take shots at the industry so blatantly because they want to make it, right? NF is basically like, F it. I don't care if I make it or not. And I think that's refreshing. I want to hear more of his earlier stuff because I'm very curious as to what I'll subscribe also. I'm very curious as to what his earlier stuff sounded like with the depression. There's been a lot of that type of music on this channel, like depressing songs, stuff that talks about mental illness and stuff. I don't just like that type of stuff, but it's very curious. I'm very curious to see how he went from that to this, because this is a more healthier kind of outlook on life, in my opinion. So real cool. I really like NF. I like this song a lot. A lot of people are saying that this is his best yet, but we'll see. I'm going to get into NF probably starting with his EP and then move up until we get back here. And then maybe we can rehash this together and talk about it more with me having more context. But I really liked this song, and this is definitely a song I would bump for sure, man. But make sure you guys go in, and if you haven't already, make sure you like this video, watch the video for yourself, subscribe if you haven't. He's a great artist. I can tell just from this alone that he's talented, man. He's talented. There's nothing like extremely crazy with the lyricism or with the rhyme schemes or with the any of that stuff, but there doesn't always have to be for you to be a good artist, right? It's about the message. It's about how creative you can get with what you're talking about and the visuals you can do with that, and all of that is here. It's all here. So I really enjoyed that. If you can, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for my channel. It helps a lot. I do want to say that I applied for monetization, and I could not have done that without you all supporting me throughout this entire thing. I'm truly blessed to have started this journey with music and shown so much love right from the get-go. So I really do appreciate you guys. There's a lot of content to come. I will be switching it up both with the music reactions as well as some type of other videos that I'm gonna be doing. It's gonna be a lot of music based stuff. There will be some like movie and TV show based stuff, but more so for my Patreon. But I'm gonna be doing some different things, not just reaction videos, but some stuff revolving around music. So I hope you guys will stick around for that. I appreciate you guys so much for the love and support. Please do remember that good vibes are contagious.